The next morning, I was enjoying an apple as I entered my establishment, flipped the sign to open on the door, then went over to my corner desk. If things went like they would on an average day, I'd receive no clients and the day will be wasted. Not that it really mattered. Unless if business suddenly skyrocketed in the next few days, I would be forced to close down for good. Sitting down, I tossed my apple core into the can and began to waste the day away once more. I must have been sitting there for hours. I was dreadfully bored. Then, something peculiar happened. A gray Pegasus mare entered the establishment. She's definitely got the wrong place. I wouldn't blame her either. Having a lazy eye, I can only guess what her vision's like. Don't get me wrong, I mean no offense by it. In fact, her eyes have a unique charm of their own. They just confused me a little was all. The gold color of her mane and tail were also pleasant to see. Overall, she gave off a nice aura around her and it made my morning. "Good morning, miss," I greeted. "How may I help you?" "A friend recommended me to come here." "Are you anonymous?" she asked. So far, everything about her tells me she's going to be a bubbly, silly type. That's fine though. By friend, I'm guessing she means John Smith. "Yes, I am. Please, call me Anon instead." She came over to the counter. Thank goodness, I was afraid that I found the wrong place again. Wait, did she say, again? I guess she's had a hard time. "Well, you're here now. How may I be of service to you?" "Oh, right. I would like to make an appointment." "When would you like your appointment?" I asked as I bent down to get a pencil from the bottom drawer. "When's the next time you're free?" "Right now actually," I grunted as I bent back up, pencil in hand. "So you can have your appointment anytime." "Well, I have to finish my mail route first." She gestured to the saddlebags full of envelopes that I haven't noticed till now. "So how about in an hour?" "Sure. What's your name?" "Depy Hooves," she answered as she turned and left in a hurry. I wrote her appointment down for documentation. Depy. That can't be her real name. Sounds more like a cruel nickname. I can only imagine her full hood with that kind of name. Hope she won't mind discussing it. I'm also curious about what the therapy room has for her. The dreadfully boring hour passed by and the peculiar gray mare came back. This time, she brought a bag containing 2 muffins with her. "Good afternoon," I greeted. "Having lunch I see." She came over to the counter. When she did, she placed the muffins from the bag onto the counter. "Actually, these are for you. I thought you would like to have some," she said with an innocent smile. Bless her soul. Usually, ponies would never pay me a second glance or even acknowledge my existence. That makes life harder than it should. This Pegasus used her hard-earned money to buy me some muffins. If I didn't know any better, I'd say there was going to be a catch. However, I do know better and it made feel bad a little. Or guilty. At this point, I wasn't sure. I also don't want to hurt one like her and I knew that refusing the offer would do just that. "Thank you, I appreciate it." I reached over, grabbed one of the muffins, and bit into it. It was banana nut. I couldn't remember the last time a merchant acknowledged me long enough for me to buy a banana. "No problem." Depy had a cheerful voice and a smile that couldn't possibly be faked. "I hope you don't mind that I saved the other one for later." "It's fine. So, would you like to begin your session?" I asked. "Yes please." I got up as she answered. "Alright, before we go in the back, I'm obligated to tell you that I'm required to keep any and all information about you and about what you say confidential unless if it's for your safety." She looked like she took comfort in hearing me say that. "Now, if you would follow me to the therapy room, we can get started." After voicing my instructions, she came around. I led her to the therapy room. When we walked in, I was surprised at first, expecting something a little more exotic or symbolic, but the more I thought about it the more it made sense. What I walked into just some ordinary bedroom that I assumed to belong to Depy. There was your standard bed, a nightstand next to it, a bookshelf along the wall, a dresser with a few brushes and a mirror on it, a rug in the middle, and a nice little fireplace in the corner. I proceeded to take a seat in one of the 2 chairs in the middle of the room, both facing each other. "Why do you have a replica of my room?" I heard Depy ask as she followed me in. I don't. It's just an illusion. A spell that takes the appearance of a location the chosen occupant holds most dear. In this case, the chosen occupant is you. I explained as she took a seat. Okay, that makes sense and is a lot less creepy. Before moving on, there is something I would like to discuss. If you don't mind. Sure. What is it? She asked, looking slightly confused. Your name. Pardon. Your name, I repeated. Depy doesn't sound like a real name. It sounds like a cruel nickname given to make fun of you. What I want to know is, what is your real name? I explained. She had a bashful look on her face. That alone told me that it wasn't a common thing for her to discuss and that I probably shouldn't have asked. Sorry, I probably shouldn't push the topic. Forgive me. I apologized. No, it's okay. I've just never had somebody ask me for my real name. It's Ditsy. Ditsy do. Ditsy explained, sounding proud. Well Ditsy, now that we got that straightened out, how about begin? I proposed. Sure thing, Anon sir. I started to really enjoy the optimism she had. Alright, so what seems to be the problem? After asking that, she started looking sad. Actually, it's about the name. She pointed out. What a coincidence. What about it? It's been getting to me lately. I don't know what to do about it. So, basically, just some advice about bullying, except for an adult. Though, it would be wrong for me to just assume, so it wouldn't hurt to probe for more information. I could give random advice, but nothing useful yet. I'm going to need some more detail first. If that's alright. Sure, that makes sense. I was given the name, Depy, because of how clumsy I am. Sometimes I tend to get lost where most wouldn't and I also tend to cause accidents. She explained. I could see where this was going. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm no miracle worker. I won't be able to stop the teasing or fix things like being clumsy. However, what I am here to do is to help you deal with it. What I need to know is if you trust me. I explained. What? If you don't trust me, then there is no point in me giving advice because then you will more than likely just ignore it. Oh, of course I trust you. Good. Tell me. Out of all of the ponies that make fun of you, how many of them are actual friends? None of them, she replied. Exactly. That's why neither they or what they say matters. If you ever forget that, I know something that you won't. She started to look nervous. What's that? She asked. You heart. It's strong, that I can see. If you're ever in doubt, just listen to your heart and it'll be your guide. As I spike, Ditsy looked awestruck for a moment. I gave her time to process the information. I see. Thank you Anon. You have no idea how helpful you've been. She finally said. I probably do. I countered. If that's all, then how about we wrap up and you can continue on with your life, only now a little happier I hope. I got up. Sure. She agreed as she got up too. I lead her out of the illusional room and into the lobby. So, how much do I owe you? I didn't want to charge her. My establishment was going to close down soon anyway. However, I did make a deal with John and I'm a man on my word. Besides, I needed something to pay for my next meal. 10 bits, I answered. She poured the bits from a bag and placed a small pile on the counter. Good luck, Anon. Same to you. I offered. Then she left.